I had an agent message me in a Brilliant Tribe last week. She said she hadn't closed a deal in 90 days. And look, I know a lot of you are in the same boat. And some of you are closing transactions, which is great, but she was scared. She had $200 to her name for marketing, and that's it. She asked me, what do I do, Tristan? So I told her three things. And I asked her a few questions first, so I gave her answers based on where she's at. So make sure you take this with a grain of salt. The fastest, cheapest way to pull business out of this market right now, her market. Now, I'm going to tell you pretty much the same as I would tell most people in a market like she was in or she's in. And that's these same three things, because if you need a paycheck in the next 60 days, this is the conversation. This is Your Daily Real Estate. I'm Tristan Ahumada. This is a podcast. It's a show. It goes on almost every day. I miss a couple of days here or there, but we've been going on for 2.5 years. This is pretty crazy. It's all free to help you out, to help you grow. The first one is calling expireds. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, Tristan, we're not allowed to call here. That's fine. Don't do it that way. Still, reach out to expireds by retargeting them on Facebook. Very minimal. You don't need a big spend there. It could be $1, $2 on retargeting. And if you go to Target or Amazon, buy a stack of handwritten notes or notes that you can handwrite, and then deliver those to the listings that you want. The people that you think listed it just about right, but maybe the marketing is the problem. And of course, always ask your brokerage and follow state guidelines for expireds. Now, knowing that you need to do this and doing it are two different things. There are expired listings sitting, just waiting for people to reach out. I know there was recent data by RedX showing in my state of California, 46% of all expired listings get relisted within, I believe it's 35 days. And that's pretty crazy. Think about that. Now, you're going to get expireds from a long time ago, from a few months ago, from yesterday, from today. Doesn't matter. You're watching them relist, especially in some markets over others. These are people who already decided they wanted to sell. They already picked an agent. They already got disappointed. In fact, they didn't sell. The number one reason, the number one feeling they have is embarrassment. They're sitting there wondering what happened, and they had already made plans. They had already told their neighbors. So what went wrong? You calling them isn't really an interruption if it's done the right way, or if you're not allowed to call them, you reaching out to them in a way that's okay for your area, whether it's stopping by their home, whether it's mailing them something, whether it's showing up on social because you're retargeting them. It's a different way. It just depends on how you want to do it. They'll open up and listen because you're different. I want you to think about how you're going to reach out. Here's the part that most agents mess up. They only reach out one time and they don't connect. They're told no. And so they quit. And then they either try to reach out the next day to a brand new expired in however way they're doing it, and they don't follow up. But remember that stat I shared with you from RedX? That stat that says, hey, 46% of homes right now are being relisted in my state. I think it's 45% in Florida. And all across the board, it's pretty high. You just need to figure out what cadence you're going to put into place to be able to reach these people that want to sell, that already showed their interest in selling more consistently. So before you reach out to these people, however you're going to reach out to them, talk to your broker about your state's rules on expireds, on definitely don't call the people on the do not call list. And every state is different. Your broker already has this answer. Use it. Now stay with me on this, because the next one is where most agents get in their own head. I know I did at the beginning, but I pushed through it really fast. And that's for sale by owners. Here's what most agents miss. For sale by owners are at 5%, depending on the state, 5 to 7% right now. That's the lowest number NAR has ever recorded if you're in the state or in an area that has 5%. And here's the stat that really matters when it comes to for sale by owners. 64% of for sale by owners admit they didn't get the price they wanted. That number doesn't come from me, right? That number comes from NAR. The median for sale by owner sold for $360,000. Think of the average priced home, right? The median agent assisted sale was $425,000. That's a $65,000 gap. Now, that's not me again. I'm not pitching you anything. Those are NAR's numbers from the 2025 report that they produced. You can go Google that right now if you want. So when you call a for sale by owner, you're not selling them anything. In fact, I don't want you to use that stat on them because they may poke holes and you may not be ready to produce the right information to back it up, right? I want you just to know that so you see a big opportunity. The opportunity is the key. Because when you show up and you do the right marketing, you're there to guide them. Most of the time, most people with your experience and your guidance and the processes that you have and the people you bring to the table, whether it's your marketing team, your title, your escrow, your attorney, your inspector, whatever, it produces a better quality output. Now, you're showing them that a real estate agent can bring them a number that makes them happy. You're telling them the truth about what they're giving up. And I don't know that they know that most of the time because we approach it the wrong way. Here's what I want you to know about for sale by owners. And here's what I told the agent that reached out to me. I said, listen, for sale by owners are usually two personalities because I've called them and I still call them. And I know I've talked to most of these and it gets a little tough. Number one personality is they're a driver. They feel like they're being taken advantage of by everyone. And so, of course, the very first call, if you're not proving that you have value, they're going to think you just want to take advantage of them. It's just like any other real estate agent calling and not having a plan. Not saying, hey, here's this stuff that you can use for free. In fact, if you ever want to come with a real estate agent over here, obviously I'm here for you, but I usually help out a lot of for sale by owners by just giving them the right information, the right guidance, the right processes, my contacts if you need them, in hopes that if you ever do need me because you don't want to do this anymore, you reach out to me because I provided so much value and I'm very open about it. So a driver and then an analytical, somebody who thinks they can do it on their own because it's easy. They've got the process down, typically an engineer, somebody good with numbers, right? Those are the two personalities that you're going to see sell this. Now, I want you to, whoever you find on the other end of this, whichever one of those two personalities, I want you to have a plan to call back. I want you to have a plan that you're going to reach out to them a week later, 2 weeks later. And how often? How often are you going to reach out and what value are you going to provide? And if you're stuck on this one, bear with me on this because I did this exact same thing with this agent. I said, hey, agent, let's call her Joanne. Hey, agent, I want you to go on Claude because I know you got Claude. I want you to go and ask, listen, this is the situation. For sale by owners in my area are typically listing for this price amount. And I've got about, let's say 7% of them want to sell on their own. What are their fears of selling with an agent? And I want you to help me tackle those with objections. And I want you to do the same thing, by the way, because you'll get the practice of answering those questions that they're going to throw at you, but you'll do it in a very sincere, authentic way. And the part nobody talks about is from what I've seen out there, your broker has already coached you, your agents, on how to approach this. Your brokerage already has the scripts, already has the processes. Sit with them, role play with them for 20 minutes before you pick up the phone. And this is on top of role playing with AI, because if you're not doing it with Claude, you're doing it with ChatGPT, you're doing it with Grok. If you drive a Tesla, throw on Grok right now and say, hey, you're a seller and you're trying to sell this home on your own with no agent. Give me some objections. And I'm going to go back and forth with you and go with me. Be hard on me. Be soft on me. And all this stuff is already there. So it's technically free, technically. And most agents just don't ask or don't do. Now, the third one. This is going to sound a little weird at first, but host an event. Now, this is what I told her. I said expireds based on your market, for sale by owners based on your market, and events. I would say any market. Think about this. You've got a large database or even a small database sitting on your phone. You don't really reach out to them as much because you don't know what to say. But if you're hosting an event, and let me tell you, at the end of this, based on how I helped her do this, and I want you to do the same thing, she almost didn't pay anything because she had a lot of different vendors helping out. And I know what you're thinking, Tristan, I don't have money for an event. That's why I started with that. I can barely afford gas. Stop it. And here's what I want to tell you. Here's what I want to teach you. You don't pay for the event. You co-host it. Call a lender, call a title rep, call an insurance agent, call your inspector, call your contractor, call all the people that come after you for a transaction. Call all the people that you've sent business to as a vendor, service provider. Pick 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and bring them in and say, hey, I want to host this with you. Here's where I'm at right now. I'm struggling, but I need your help. Tell them you want to host a client appreciation event for 30 of your past clients, your core sphere, those people you know that will refer you business because they like you. Not some random people that are on your phone that you don't know if they would refer you business. Let's get straight right to it. These are people you're going to invite that will send you business. And most of them, when you call them, they'll say yes, right? Just plan it out 6 weeks ahead, 4 weeks ahead. I prefer 6 weeks ahead so you can build up to it, right? It's like my friend Michael Mayer outlines this whole process and says, hey, call them, text them. Every week is another excuse to reach out to them leading up to the event, reminding them whether it's a call, email, text, voice email, video, email, video, text in different ways, and send them an invite. And then if they don't show up, even better, tell them you missed them, ask them if they want to be invited to the next one, because these people will send you referrals. And a lot of people want to see you. They want to talk to you. It's been a while. They want to be in the room with you. They want to be getting to know everybody else there. These are people who like to hang out with other people. Now, you just turned an event that didn't cost you very much because you brought in the right people. You just turned an event into a referral machine. And hopefully, sometimes, maybe most of the time, and always ask your broker on this, but you can get away with it being free. And now you've got 30 of your best clients in one room, 3, 4, 5 vendor partners who owe you a favor, and that's why they're here, right? Obviously, they also want to get business from this. And content for 2 weeks, 3 weeks of social media, or maybe even content for your website. Now, I've done this personally with the team, locally, with big events. I've done this for years, and this is one of my favorite things to do to get business. Not necessarily my favorite thing to do because it's a lot of work. But again, I don't really like events as much. I know some of you love them. Now, here's the catch. You have to invite the right people. I'm just going to remind you, you have to invite your top 30 clients or 30 clients that absolutely love you and would send you business. They just have to be reminded, not random leads, okay? Not cold contacts. The people who already trust you and already want to refer you business. And if you've got more than that, 50, 60, 70, awesome. If the room can hold them and your vendors can pay for it, even better. Because that's the room where referrals will happen. And they'll come from that event. Just one afternoon or one morning, 30 people, no marketing budget needed. That's it. Now, if you need this business plan for the next 60 days or 90 days, just let me know. I'll send it over to you. I've got it in a quick Google Doc. We'll send it over. Just refer to this episode so I know. But listen, you know I run Facebook lead ads, Instagram lead ads, and you don't need to do that. But I'm not saying they suck. I'm saying for your particular situation where you're low on funds, you don't need to do that. You don't need to pay for a brand new website. You just need to pick up the phone and talk to people in certain cases. Maybe show up at their home. Maybe send them a handwritten note. In some cases, reach out to them. If they're in your database and they're core people, reach out to them. It's all about connecting with people. And then make sure you're planning that one event. What are we in? We're in April now. You can plan one for end of May, probably June. And if you want to push it off a little bit, maybe even a 4th of July party, but the week before, or maybe slightly around there. Now, those 3 moves cost you almost nothing. There are agents who are making pretty good money in this market, but they're shifting and it takes a lot more work. Some of these deals take a lot of work to keep them into play. I know because we just lost a big one, but then we just closed 2 other ones and all 3 of them were difficult. Just remember, business is out there. It's just going to have to take a lot of work from you and a lot of adapting. Now, if this hit today, please subscribe, share this with an agent in your office, share this with an agent that you're coaching. This is how we grow this channel. And if you want that whole outline of what I think you should be doing, right? And remember, I'm talking to that specific agent that I talked to. Just message me and I'll send it over. Message me on Instagram. Maybe put a comment in here. I'm a little slower here, but share this with somebody. Have an awesome day. I'll see you tomorrow.